Good blessed Tuesday morning, May the 30th, 2023. It's about 6:33 a.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with a universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't even matter whether you the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter if you my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't even matter whether you like me or anything that I say or do. That's your prerogative. You have so many rights with the Constitution of the United States that you can think and say as you please, as long as you do it in a legal manner. But today what I want to come up here to talk about here in Charleston, Missouri on the west side of town, I want to give Charleston, Missouri residents, not these Charleston, Missouri faith-based, grant-receiving so-called leaders. I don't want to get this to them. I want to get this to the community for letting Charleston, Missouri, for a long time. I've been down there 27 years. And this last May the 23rd, of 2023, from Friday the 26th of May throughout the 29th, which was Monday, yesterday, May the 29th, this Memorial Day weekend, it was a blessing. It was peaceful. It was unity. I give it to the residents. And I give thumbs up to some of the Charleston, Missouri police officers for being on patrol. I give it to some of the Missouri State Highway patrolmen for being out here on patrol. But I give it to these, it was like about, maybe it seemed to me, it looked like about at least a couple of hundred, if not more, black people getting together here in Charleston, Missouri, in this same area that a lot of violence take place sometime. But it was unity. This was the first time that I ever allowed my soon-to-be 17 and 18-year-old daughters to stay out in this area with a mass crowd like that until 11 o'clock at night. I want to give it to one of my neighbors, a young guy. I seen him out here yesterday after all the partying and celebration of Memorial Day was over with. Come out here cleaning this area up voluntarily. He ain't running to the newspaper like a lot of these faith-based so-called leaders is doing. But I'm going to show y'all better than I can tell y'all. Y'all see all this area I'm showing y'all right here? I'm permitted to be on this part here. The Housing Authority, which is across the street here, Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority Executive Director barred me from all Housing Authority property, and for some reason, the Housing Authority runs this C.F. Bowen Center, all of the stuff that's across the street, so I can't go to it. But my daughters and them was out here. But I want to just show y'all something. This whole area, all down up in here, that's Vine and Lee Street down there. All this area here that you see me at right now, all across the street, all of this was crowded. This is the southwest side of Charleston, Missouri. And I give all of the people that was out here was different generations of individuals out here. I mean, this whole area was crowded. I know some people, and if the shoe fit, wear it, they wanted to see some chaos. You see what I'm saying? But it wasn't no chaos. All this was full, y'all. See, I'm permitted to come over here. The city told me I'm permitted to come over here. All the criticizing that I do with the judges, prosecuting attorneys, police, and anybody else that do wrong, ain't nobody else barred me from their properties But this executive director that don't even live in Charleston, Missouri, to the best of my knowledge, and the NAACP, some of them work for them. Some of them is running these faith-based programs. And I'm an NAACP member, probably the only NAACP member here in Charleston, Missouri, that actually stand up for people's civil rights, because these other ones, all they doing is getting jobs at the housing authority. They running all these programs, making millions of dollars out of there, but they didn't have nothing to do with all this peace, y'all. Cars was lining up all up and down here, y'all. Cars was lining up all down there. Hundreds of people. And my two young daughters, like I said, I normally don't let them stay out till after 9 o'clock. But all this here was crowded, y'all. Even down here on the other end. With people in cars. To the best of my knowledge, with no shots fired, with nobody harmed, nobody fighting. I don't even think it was any arguments out here, because I told my daughters and them, if a fight start or if the shots is fired, to get in that truck and leave. All this here, y'all, it's crowded. It was like in a big city. Charleston, Missouri ain't but 5,947 people, give or take, maybe 6,000 now. But you see, somebody somewhere didn't want to see this peace. You see, them individuals that call themselves faith-based leaders talking about Charleston for change, it wasn't no Charleston for change for the better on this here west side. It was Charleston for change for people like that there, where that man loading that truck up. That man loading that stuff in there for tomorrow for this Pre-Start guy. I'm gonna tell y'all about him in a minute. Him and his organization and people that run with him. And one thing about them, I'll tell you, they are not for this community. All you gotta do is look at go on Lee Street in Vine on the corner and see that boarded up house that he got that thumb in our neighborhood. But he was renting it to somebody. But anyway, let's get back to this here, y'all. The community did all this was full, y'all, all up and down here. All this was full of black people living in unity. It was all about respect. It was all about unity. It was all about harmony. And that touched my heart. Because most time when I report up here, it's shots fired, black on black crime. And to the best of my knowledge, like I said, there was no fighting. There was no arguing. There was no shots fired. Nobody killed. The little building that you see right there, with the beige-like metal roof, that's the funeral home. They wasn't able to get no business then. There he is. Fresh start. He ain't making no fresh start here in our community. He making a fresh start with his family and friends. You see what I'm saying? I worked for him before, speaking to the children in the same building before I was banded. Giving me $50 cash. Not after I got through. I had a cameraman too. I had to get a cameraman. I didn't have to, but he didn't even pay the cameraman. This fresh-eyed individual is making all these millions. I gave the cameraman 20 of my of $50 when I got it. But I spoke to them kids for like about 2 hours. You see, he didn't even wave. That's the fresh start people. They don't normally wave at me. But anyway, if he was giving me $50, I'm a college graduate. I'm a motivated speaker. I'm an activist. I'm an NAACP member. And then what he did, he segregated us in one of them little rooms in there. I'm talking about the director of the Fresh Start. He got 2 locations that he said that his center, which is in the 300 block of North Main Street, which is not a center, it's his home where he live at. The other one is here, that's in the white neighborhood. The other one is on our side of town in the black neighborhood, over here on the southwest side in the 600 block of Paul Street. That's supposed to be a center, but it ain't. See, he keeps some of his vans right here. Why? This is not Fresh Start Center. This is the C.F. Bowen Center. But you know why he can do it there? Because of the executive director of the housing authority. All of them is working hand in hand, milking the black community. They get all these millions of dollars for these programs, but they don't put a doggone thing back in our communities. But let me leave this as I came. Thank all of you brothers and sisters, young and old, middle-aged, for keeping the peace, making the newspaper not having nothing to say. The news, let's see if the carrier, enterprise carrier gonna put this in the paper. They ain't gonna put that in the paper. This is who they gonna have in the paper. Individuals that black people in the community know is ripping us off. Peace be still.